Hello? Will is the sum of infinity. So there are so many things. There's joy, there's pain, pleasure, an openness to learn and knowledge of things. Since I'm open to receiving that, I'm giving it as well. I think fluidity is a key for getting through life, because life is fluid. It's never just one thing. So you have to sort of go with the ebb and flows that are constantly changing. For me, fluidity and pain run hand in hand, because when you're dealing with pain, you have to sort of mold yourself to find ways in dealing with it, healthy ways in dealing with it. But I also think that fluidity comes with joy. Joy comes in fluidity as well. I'm not just one setting, and my music reflects that. There are many changes within my album. For me, it's very fluid, and that's how I wanted it to come across, as being a translucent cosmos. I see a lot of warm colors and layers of warmth, sort of surrounding the center, which is blank, left to be blank, canvas. But actually the canvas is skin. It's made of skin. It's like stretched skin. It's like a leather. And so the middle is left empty for the listener to fill in for themselves, because I don't really want to paint. I definitely say a lot of earth tones, dirt and blood and yellows, brightness and oranges. Didn't really want the listener to feel like they knew what to expect next, or that they could just feel the same thing throughout the record. I also feel like, for me, the song changes, the words change meaning, and I wanted the listener to also feel like they can change with the words as well, that the meaning can change for them, that they can find parts that they like one day, and they find other parts that they like more of on another day. I moved to LA to feel a bit more isolated in order to find the words that I needed to find in order to write the record. But it wasn't the only place that it was written. I also wrote it in London. I did a lot of the writing in London and parts of the UK, and then while I was traveling around the world. But LA just was a good space for me to come back to, because while I was making the record, I was touring and I was traveling around a lot. I didn't really have the luxury of time and financial resources to stay in one place, to just be able to focus on the record at one period of time. So it was spanned over 3 years, and it wasn't just because I didn't have those resources available, but I also wanted to take my time. LA just gave me the space that I sort of needed in order to do that. And then the community that I built while I was there just reassured me of self and what I was doing. But I'd say that LA and being on the West Coast allowed me to feel a sense of freedom and space to come up with the record the way that I did. When I was writing in London for this record, I was really new to London. I didn't really know many people. I was there because I was rehearsing with Sampha before his album came out, and he had just started on rehearsals and building a band together for tours. So I was between rehearsals and then going to the studio, and the studio was like really close to where we were practicing and rehearsing. It was like spring and summer, and it was raining a lot, and I really love the rain. It brings about a moodiness. It kind of like forces you to be internal a bit. It was perfect for me because that's what I was doing. I was being really internal and thinking about things like home and romance that I had found, and it ended a lot quickly but dramatically. So I like to go all in and dive into love wholeheartedly, and it was happening in another country, in a foreign place. So I was experiencing a lot of things in this like sort of foreign country, and I felt completely sort of alone in it, and I was reveling in that. When I was writing there, it was a lot of emotions wrapped up in one. The collaboration with Skrillex was very surprising for me. I didn't know it would work out as well as it did. We met, and he was just asking me about what I was up to, my progress on the record. He was like, I'd love to listen to it. I played him a song that I was like, this is going to be the next song, Due West. I felt there was still something missing from it. I didn't know exactly what it was. And then we got together and we worked on it. I don't know, it was really unexpected for me, I think because my line of sight was smaller before I went in and I worked with him. And I was able to see how musical he is and how well just we worked together. It was really a beautiful process. It was probably the most surprising collaboration of the record. If we're collaborating, usually because I respect what the musician does regularly and I trust them musically. And so I like to go in not saying too much, seeing where they would like to go, give my take on how I'm feeling, the colors I'm seeing. If it's something that I've already started, and I would just like them to accentuate what's already there, or add an element, something that they would give that I wouldn't think of. I don't want to give too much direction until I feel like the direction's really needed, because I trust them, and I want to give them the freedom of expression that I would like to be given as well in a collaboration. Portugal is the place to go. It's a place that I feel like I've heard is like a myth to me. Some other musician friends have been there, and they've just been like, Lisbon is the spot, it's the place. When I was in Porto, I was there for so short, as in most places where you go and then you just have like a day or two. But the general feeling that I got was joy and also natural beauty. I loved riding around and seeing just the environment and the people. It had this really sort of relaxed feeling. But I remember I went to ICA in London like 4 years ago or something. I went to go see DJ Nigga Fox. Everyone was there. It was just like mind-blowing. I was just like, I can't wait to go to Lisbon